Hey, 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 hey. How are you guys doing? All right. I am excited. We're about to have a really great call tonight. Go ahead and share this feed with some family members, some friends, anybody that you think, was interested in getting into real estate. This live is definitely going to be for them. So we right now are in Q4 2024. Well, I guess depending on when you're watching it, right? And so now is a really great time. I hope that you've had an opportunity to kind of look at, you know, where you started off in January, where you are now, and then what it is that you really desire and wanted to accomplish, right? Those things are super important to kind of see how am I tracking with my goals? Am I on point? What tweaks do I need to make? What connections do I need to make? What are some of those things? Hey, Kanisha. And so I'm really excited about tonight's conversation because this is going to be an opportunity for you guys to connect, plug in, and really put yourself in a position to finish out Q4 stronger than ever. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with prayer. So Father, we bless you. We thank you. We honor you. I thank you Lord, for every person up under the sound of my voice. I thank you, Lord, that in this fourth quarter that you will go over and beyond what they dreamed or imagined. Lord, I thank you for putting all the pieces and all the parts together supernaturally. I thank you for supernatural deals. I thank you for strategies. I thank you for boldness. I thank you for fresh ideas and fresh excitement. I thank you for the angels of progress and accumulation and acquisition to go before us, make our way plain. In Deuteronomy 6:10, you said you give us houses we did not build and you fill them with all good things. So God, I thank you for good paying tenants, and I thank you for beautiful houses with beautiful furniture and art pieces and the best of the best that life has to offer. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, great. So I wanted to jump on here tonight, you guys. If you've been watching me for any time, I am definitely all businesswoman all day long. I love business. I love deals. I love deal making. I love negotiations. I even love some of the challenges and the problem solving that we have to work through and walk through to get to the other side. What I have learned is that whoever solves the most problems makes the most money, and that there's always an answer. In real estate, there's always an answer. Okay, I want you to just put that in the comments right now. There is always an answer. And what happens is sometimes when you start in real estate, you'll be starting and you'll be going along, and then maybe you run into some kind of an issue. And if you're not careful, you'll say, oh, my credit was messed up, or oh, I lost my job, or they said the interest rate was going to be too high, or all kinds of ors that could be happening at any point, Tiffany, right? But you got to remember there's always an answer, right? And so what happens is the thing that I love about real estate and the thing that I love about doing deals is to get creative in your deals. If you cannot skin a cat one way, you can skin it another. If one lender won't approve you, another lender will. One lender might require bank statements, one might require just a credit score. One lender will want to know what your schedule of property is or your previous investments, and another one may say, I don't care as long as you can pay your note. So there's a gamut of lenders out there. They're private lenders, they're public lenders, there's private equity money, there's private money, they're just individual investors that have a lot of money and they're just looking to invest and make money through giving loans out. So you have to remember that there's always a way to do a deal. When I started in real estate, I started in 2017, and I was blessed to have a mentor. I still have a mentor today. There's no way that I would do this without a mentor. People sometimes think I'm just going to jump into real estate. I'm telling you right now, real estate is not anything that you want to just jump into. All deals are not equal. All properties are not equal. And so you want to make sure that you go in with your eyes open, your ears open, and having the right mentorship that can kind of guide you along the way. And so anyway, when I started in 2016, 2017, I was really just kind of interested in doing a buy and flip and then also a buy and hold. And that's exactly what I did. And I got really good at it. And I had a mentor who just kept calling and saying, "Hey, Carlos, I'm going to bring you on 1 second, brother." But I had a mentor that just kept calling and saying, "Hey, you know what? This is another good deal and another good deal." And honest to God, I only saw one property out of I end up buying like I don't know 30 or 40 properties, something like that, all single families at the time. And I probably only saw one property before I actually purchased it. I was going off of my mentor and what they saw and what they thought. They had built a really nice portfolio for themselves. And so I was like, okay, do that again. And then we had the same spiritual father. So I was really like, okay, I'm watching you do your thing with him. And then I'm watching you do your thing. Hey, help a sister out. And that's exactly what he started to do. And next thing I knew, I had a really nice portfolio. And, I have to be honest, the systems and all that stuff wasn't really in place. He was really good at finding deals, management. I got somebody that I used to go to church with to manage it. And, child, it was ran a little ghetto, but your girl still hit 7 figures, right? And so I decided a couple years ago to get back into real estate really heavy in 2022 when crypto really had a big fallout, when a lot of you guys saw that happen with your boy Sam Friedman. He ended up stealing all these people cryptocurrency, and unfortunately had a ripple effect on the crypto industry market. And so a lot of the investments that I had invested in, where I was making 6 figures strong every single month, totally dried up. And I remember another mentor and good friend that I have, Kim Kiyosaki, told me, she kept saying, "Jewel, you need to build the same thing that you did in crypto. You need to do that in real estate." And so I was like, yep, that's a bet. That's exactly what I'm getting ready to go into. So I'm getting ready to bring Carlos. Do you need another minute? Or are you ready? You good? All right, great. I'm gonna get ready to bring him to the stage. I love it. I love it. Hey, brother, how are you?
Doing awesome, Jewel. How's everybody doing tonight? Hello, hello.
I
I'm
love
here
it.
at my son's soccer practice, and of course, zooming with you.
I love it. I love it. This man is dedicated. Okay. My husband actually met up with Carlos earlier this year. Was it this year? Or was it last year?
It was actually early this
Last
year in May
early this
is
year. Was it
when we
May?
connected. Yeah,
Okay. So they connected in May, and we actually had an opportunity to go and look at a commercial property that he had purchased and invested in, literally 10 minutes from our main home. And I love that property. I see it all the time. The juice bar is over there. There's a coffee shop over there. And then we found out that Carlos owned it. We was like, oh, wait a minute. Not only did he own it, but it has all these lofts and where you can buy them. And I mean, just the whole area is just super, super dope. It's classy. It's fairly new, and we really like it. The whole property, that whole area is ran so well. I'm over there a couple times a week at the juice bar. So we got a chance
that's
to
awesome.
walk and see, looked at the numbers on that. And then he talked to us about another property. And this is what I want you guys to hear. Know that there's always a next. Don't ever get stuck in, okay, I'm doing a buy and flip or I'm doing a buy and hold. Know that they're bigger and better deals. And so, Carlos, you've been investing in commercial real estate, and you'll have an opportunity when you become a part of a Certify to get access to these kinds of deals. And this is why I wanted Carlos to come on. You've been investing on real estate for how long?
I've been buying real estate for over 20 years.
Wow,
Yeah,
20 years.
yeah, my
Oh,
first property, and really I've always loved it. Okay, I my dad built a small industrial complex when I was growing up, and he did not do it because he thought the real estate was going to be a good investment, but because he needed a space for his business, and that was his way of not paying rent to someone else. So when he built this property, I was still a kid, so I didn't really understand what he was doing, and I don't think he was really understanding what he was doing from an investment perspective. But fast forward many years, that property that my dad built to house his business, and he always thought that his business, which was a small printing company, was going to give him enough money for retirement. because that's what people think, right? You need financial freedom, you need retirement, you need cash flow. And he thought his business was going to be the one that is going to set him free. He actually ended up liquidating the business and keeping the real estate. And that real estate property took care of him for 20 years of his retirement until he passed. And then he passed it on to us. And that's when really clicked for me, where I was like, you know what? This property actually took care of my dad for 20 years, and he's going to continue to cash flow for us for probably our whole lifetime because he made me promise not to sell it.
Oh, so he made you promise not to sell it.
Yeah. Yeah. And he did that because, it's paid for. He had paid it for, and it has 7 tenants in it. It cash flows every single month. And one thing that he knew is that if he would have passed and we would have sold the property, like I probably could have been responsible for with the money, but I have three other brothers, and one of them in particular, he's the black sheep of the family, and he would have blown the money in 5 seconds. So he knew that he
Mm,
needed to protect my brother. So he asked me, which I'm one of the most successful in my
responsible.
family and responsible,
Mhm.
like you said. And he said,
Mhm.
Carlos, if I pass, don't sell the property, let it cash flow. And we get
Mhm.
a quarterly paycheck from that property, and of course, it keeps my brother motivated enough to continue to take care of that property because he lives close to the property and he's our property manager. So, you know,
Wow.
pretty pretty good vision and foresight of my dad to do that and set it in stone that we shouldn't sell the property.
Wow. So you said it's commercial or residential?
That was a commercial one. It's an industrial complex. It has 7 warehouses. It's actually in South America, where I'm from. I came to the U.S. at 17 years old from South America, and always loved real estate. My first property here in the U.S. was our own home that we moved out of to upgrade to a little nicer home, and we rented that one. Right, I didn't want to sell it. I want to rent it and make some money, and we never sold it. And then we did it again, then again, and for the last 20 years, I've been accumulating properties. But at some point, like you said, I I knew there was a different level. The small properties were not scaling enough to create a big business. And I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm always looking for the best and most efficient way to do things and the next level. And that's kind of what took me full on to commercial real estate in the last few years. And now we have 1,400 units in our portfolio of apartments.
That is absolutely, outstanding. And that's what I want people to know. Like, it doesn't matter where you are, if you're just getting started, then that's great. But you don't have to build slow. You can literally say, hey, you can do both. You can say, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna do a couple buy and flips so that I have capital, buy a
Hmm.
house for 80,000, fix it up for 30, put it back on the market for maybe 140, 150, right? You made a nice little quick capital. Or listen, I want to do both. I want to come in and I want to be an investor in commercial property. What I love about the deal that we're in, which is, Ben and I are investors on what, 214 units, I think it is. All right. Is that right?
216. 216,
260.
yeah.
We'll be leaving off the two. Units, which we're super excited about those returns. Just officially closed on that on Friday, and we'll start getting payouts every quarter as well. So we're really excited about that. But I want to talk a little bit about how you can keep going, because the properties that we are, partners on right now. There is more land that is adjacent to that, but I think we're talking about looking at investing building 120 units. How are we looking there?
Yeah. Yeah. So that property's phase two of the project we just closed on. Uh, and it's already, the concrete slabs are already set. The developer tells me it's going to be, about 12 months, 12 to 15 months before the first building has its certificate of occupancy. So, we have first right of refusal to the purchase of that property. One of the things I wanted to make sure we did before closing is I wanted a first right of refusal because more units in the same place add value to the original units. And this is something that a concept that I know you want to teach your audience, Jewel, is that residential real estate and commercial real estate are two very different things in terms of how the properties define its value, right? On a residential property, the property's value based on the comps. So the comparables in your market give the property the value. If you have houses that are similar to yours, that's how valuable your property is. In commercial real estate, is not about the comps, is about the income and the profit that the property produces. So if
Mm,
you're able to produce more income and save on expenses, then your property automatically becomes more valuable. So if you can
mm,
charge more rent, if you can add incomes to the property, if you can become efficient with expenses, you can force the value of a property, a commercial property, a lot. And when I
mm.
say a lot, by hundreds of thousands of dollars or by millions of dollars in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, and that's the part that's really huge too. When you look at commercial, it looks like to me that the overall equity is stronger. Last week when we closed, closed with a significant seven-figure amount, right? Which I thought was really, really outstanding. And there's some other things that you've really done to make sure that we're able to get maximum profit, not just with having tenants in there, but talk about some of those other ways that we're going to be
Yeah.
making money. And those of you guys that are watching, I know we got the membership on pets, vending machines. Talk about some of those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. So this is where it gets really super interesting. You know, a big misconception that people have is that Class A properties, brand new properties, is very hard to add extra income, right? Because people mostly think about flips and renovation, and they think, okay, if I renovate this place, now I can rent it for more, or I can add value to it. But what I found out many years ago is that Class A properties, brand new properties that developers are finishing, many times the developer is in a hurry to get the property sold, and they don't take advantage of all the opportunities that the property could have to add income, therefore add more value. So at the Reserva Cool Springs, the property we just closed on, first of all, we closed the deal at $47 million. The appraisal was already $49 million. So we have $2 million of equity day one. And then the things that I'm going to implement in the first year of operations are things that add profit to the business, because you got to think about commercial real estate more like a business rather than just pure property, right? And if you think about a business, when you add revenue and profit to a business, you make the business more valuable. So at the Reserve, for example, one thing we're going to do right away, November 1st, we're implementing valet trash. What valet trash is that instead of the tenants having to take their trash bag to the main dumpster and walk 5 minutes, 10 minutes, some of them drive to the main dumpster, we're going to implement a service so that someone comes to their door 3, 4, 5 days a week, picks up the trash right at their doorstep. That's
Mm,
valet trash. That service, $25 per unit per month, adds $1.2 million of value to the property because we've added income to the property. And it's so
mm,
easy to implement, right?
mm,
Actually, I was there all last week. The company that actually does our commercial cleaning heard me talk about this and say, hey, I can quote you for this. I have the
mm.
trucks, I have the manpower, I can quote you for this. And she already
Wow.
gave me a quote at $8 per unit per month. So I'm going to pay $1,700 per month for them
Mm,
to do a turnkey. And
mm.
here we're going to create with a $1,700 a month service, $1.2 million of value for the property. How crazy is that?
Wow. In addition to the fact that we're going to see it pay out to us as well. So not only are we increasing our equity, but we're also increasing the revenue that's going to be paid out. I mean,
100%.
that's huge. So we got the valet service. What about the dry cleaners? Are we still doing that to pick up?
Yeah, so ballet trash is one. The second thing that we're going to do is garages. So if you remember my plan, the property has a humongous lot. It's 8 acres, over 520 parking stalls, and the property only needs 1.4 parking spots per unit. So very, very small parking density versus what we have. So I've been working with an architect even before close, and he sent me actually the proposal today. I thought I could add 30 parking spots, and you're the first investor to hear this, Jewel. I can add 70 garages, not 30 garages, 70 garages. So if you think about that, right? 30 garages would have added $1.3 million of value. With 70 garages, we're talking about $3.8 million of value.
Ooh, ooh. Wow.
And here's something so cool last week.
Comment real quick. Somebody just put it's all the extra. Put it's all the extra in the
Oh,
comments.
1,000.
Listening. Okay, go ahead.
1,000. Yeah. You know, here's another cool thing. Is like it's all about supply and demand, right? Whatever business you're in, you got to think about, hey, what's my demand like and what's my supply like? The property only had 9 garages, and one came available last week when I was there, and I was just playing around testing this thing, and I said to the staff, hey guys, send an email to all the tenants, all 216 tenants, and say we have 1 garage available, immediate rent $250, and right now they were charging $150, so I bumped it $100 to see if there was going to any takers at $100 extra. The thing rented in 5 minutes. Right?
Wow. So the projections that we have, we've already way superseded. Those projections were so conservative.
I told you this when you met me, Jewel. I'm always when I go into a deal, I'm always projecting super conservative because I'm like the worst case scenario. This is the worst case scenario. This is we're gonna put on the pro formas and on the pitch decks and on the presentation to the investors. But once I'm there working the business, my goal is not to be average, right? I'm not average. I'm going to go for excellence. I'm going to go for every single dollar that I can grab, because the easiest way to think about commercial real estate, especially a Class A stuff that you and I are doing, is every dollar that I put on the bottom line as extra profit turns into $20 of value for the property. So it's a game, right? What's the game? Let's find more dollars on the bottom line to add $20 of value to the property. And that's what we're doing with the valet trash, the garages. We're going to add a grab and go store. I'm sure you guys have seen it at the gas stations and at the airports, where you can just walk in, grab some chips, drinks, anything, and you can check out yourself. That's exactly what we're doing at the property. That should add thousands of dollars of extra revenue a month, because we have a captive audience of tenants. The what?
Are
The
we
pets?
still gonna do the pet service?
Yep. So we're gonna do a pet spa. I already have the architect working on the pet spa. We're gonna charge for that and a subscription for the pet spa, and then we're going to add Amazon lockers so that people have security of their packages, and they're gonna pay $10-15 a month for that convenience. So there's a bunch of things we're stacking as extra values for the property that are going to turn into, a lot of money in equity for investors, but also a lot of cash flow because we get paid every quarter.
Yeah, that part is sweet. When are we doing the next tour? Do we know?
So ribbon cutting for the property is November 14. So make sure you lock that in your calendar. All the investors and anyone else that wants to show up, guys. Like, this is open for anyone that wants to get exposure to commercial real estate. November 14, we're going to have a huge party, ribbon cutting ceremony. We'll probably have, the Chamber of Commerce and the mayor of Elizabethtown will probably show up. We'll feed everybody. We'll have some fireworks. We're going to have some music. And I'm going to throw a big party, right? When you buy a $50 million property, you got to throw a party.
That's right. Absolutely. Do we know what time everything is starting yet?
At noon. Right at noon.
At noon. Okay.
Right at noon. Yeah, because I know you have to fly in. So scramble the jet. scramble the jet
Yeah.
to land at 10.
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, I want to thank you so much for jumping on here. I know you're your son's volleyball. I appreciate you jumping on here. Thanks so much. We'll be in touch. We'll probably talk in the next day or two.
Yes,
But I'm really
yes.
excited about all the possibilities. And
Yeah.
again, thanks so much for jumping on.
Yeah, no, what I would tell you, Jewel, just in closing, I would say, hey, everybody, plug into Jewel. You know, she's on to big things. She's not staying in one level. She wants to go big, and we're going big time, right? $50
Yeah.
million property. The next one would be very similar. You know, my vision, my goal is to go to $1 billion by 2030 in commercial,
Yeah.
and
Okay, I don't know what happened to him. He was talking good. But I hope you guys had an opportunity to hear that. And that's what I wanted to make sure. And, and I know everybody is at a different place. And I hope that the conversation didn't intimidate you or you counted yourself out, because that is not what my intention was. My intention, we created the Acetified platform for the average everyday person who's hungry, who's ready, who's teachable, who's coachable. Like, that's all I need. I don't need you to have $1 million in the account. I don't need you to even have like no bunch of money, right? I just need you to be open to say, okay, let me get my credit together. Okay, let me get in, because if you need help with credit, we have a credit strategist that's going to help you get that together. Or maybe your credit is already together. The only thing I really need from you is for you to be working. And I prefer a credit score of at least 620 or above. If you don't have that, if it's under 620, we can still get you with our credit strategist to help you so that we can get your credit clean and now start to, you know what I mean? Start now, like, okay, let's get you on the path so we can get you to your first buy and flip or your first buy and hold. Or, we'll meet, we'll do a one-on-one and kind of determine where you are and then where you want to be, right? I believe that everybody that's on here, you follow me, is because you're not average. You know that you were called for much more. You know you were called for wealth. You know you were called for expansion. And it is important to make sure that you're in the right groups with the right relationships, having those conversations, because those conversations build confidence. Confidence causes you to move into action. And that's really all I'm encouraging you to do. Take this fourth quarter and move into action. And so we literally have 4 different packages for you to be able to plug into and become a part of. We have a $25,000 package, and that package basically says, listen, I want to get multiple doors, as many doors as I can over the next 12 months. And any of my clients will tell you, I work very closely with them. We're texting, calling, getting pictures, videos. Like, I am definitely actively involved. I'm not trying to change the entire world. I want to make an impact on the entire world, but I know that I'm called to a particular demographic, a remnant of people who are serious about advancing, serious about growing, serious about evolving, and definitely serious about building a real estate empire. Okay, because that's exactly what we're doing over here. I'm not playing no games with that. Or there's a $10,000 package, and that package is basically for people who say, listen, I want to do my first buy and flip or my first buy and hold. I need you to hold my hand. I want all your resources. I want the resources at the mayor's office. I want the resources with the contractors. I want the resources with the title companies. I want the resources with the realtors to put it back on the market. I want the resources with the property management, because there are a lot of different compartments in real estate, and having a team that you can trust is really important. Having a team that's not going to double back and then you wake up and they talking about the water tank missing. No, Negro, you took it. What you doing? Put it back. but you see what I'm saying? So having those people that for real, that you can trust for real, because we're not in now this particular unit. These units that Ben and I invested in are luxury. So this is in a nicer part, but a lot of the work that I'm doing is in the inner city. That's the other thing. You can kind of figure out, where am I at as a realtor or a real estate investor? Like my husband, he's not really interested in the inner city. He's like, I grew up in the inner city. I don't want none of that smoke, right? But I love the inner city. I love the idea of revitalizing and restoring. But he's a luxury guy, so that's where he's investing. So you'll be able to kind of figure out, what is my investor identity? Like, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? What kind of money do I want to make? How fast do I want to move? Because one thing I've learned, success loves speed. Success loves speed. So my goal for you and the team's goal is to get you into action and figure out where you are. Figure out where you are. I want everybody to put in the comments right now. It's all the extra. Come on, put in the comments. I saw Betsy put hers in there. Nita put hers in there. Yes, girl. I love it. I love it. I love it. Absolutely. Just put it's all the extra. There's just so many extra ways that you can make money in real estate. You can make money flipping, you can make money holding, you can make money with a single family duplex, 5, 10, or you could go luxury, you can go townhouses, condos, development, right? International, right? I'm going to Africa next year in June. Some of y'all need to pull up on me in Africa. You know what I'm saying? We're going to one of the most beautiful places in Africa and give you an opportunity to be able to invest internationally. So what am I saying? However you feel like you want to get your hands on it. And sometimes you really don't know, but we can start you wherever you want to start. Some of you are going to be like, hey, I'm ready to start fast. Some of you like, I'm ready to start slow. I see you, Juliet. We're in group text messages every day with the contractor. Her house is just looking so good. She got a big one for her first one, but I'm so proud of her for stepping out and doing that. It's taken a little bit longer than what we anticipated, but her attitude has been amazing. And we're almost at the end and getting that baby on the market so we can go on bigger and stronger. And that's what I really want for everybody. I don't want anybody to get stuck in just one level. Even if you feel like, because I feel like that sometimes before, where I'm like, man, I got all this going on. Let me get past this, then talk to me about this. But I've learned, no. While you're in the middle of already doing a deal or several deals, always be looking to what's next. Because I promise you, the solutions, the resources, the money, whatever you need to handle that, it's already done. You need to be thinking forward. You need to be thinking, what am I going to do next week? What am I going to do tomorrow? What am I going to do next quarter? What does 2025 look like for me? Who are the players that I need to be partnered with? What are the conversations that I need to be privy to? What are the rooms that I need to be on? What are the board tables that I need to be sitting at, right? You got to make sure that you are strategically putting yourself in a position to scale. You got to put yourself in a position to scale, not in a position to stay frustrated, not in a position to be afraid, but in a position to keep moving, right? To keep moving. I want everybody in the chat right now in the comments, put keep moving. You got to put yourself in a position to keep moving. So those of you that, are ready to get started, I want you to email info@acertifiednow.com. Email info@acertifiednow.com, or you can just put in the comments real estate. Put in the comments real estate, or email info@acertifiednow.com. You'll meet first with one of my team members, and then they will schedule a Zoom, and then we'll customize a specific package just for you. We'll kind of figure out, where you are with your credit, where you are with your cash flow, and then we'll start to kind of customize where you are, and then I can make some recommendations. I'm definitely going to pray about it. I pray over all of my clients every day. I'm praying over my clients every day when I'm driving down the street, so looking for property. I'm like, Lord, I want to hear the name of whose property this belongs to. Lord, tell me the contracting group that this person needs to work with. God, give me the insight and bless it big, bless it big, bless it big, bless it big in Jesus' name. And so we apply pressure and prayer. Pressure and prayer, both of those things synonymously are very, very, very important. And so anyway, I'm excited. Just wanted to come on here and give you guys some tea about what are some of the amazing things that we're doing here at the Certified community, and give you an opportunity to partner so we can finish out fourth quarter stronger than ever. Remember, there's always an answer and there's always a next, right? You're not stuck. You're not stuck. Nobody on here is stuck. I'm not stuck. You're not stuck. I don't care what your greatest issue is. You are not stuck. But what you do have to do is make a decision. That is what you have to do. Once you make that decision, I promise you, everything is going to start falling right into place. So listen, I love you guys. I believe in you. I'm speaking Deuteronomy 6 and 10 over you, that God is giving you houses, plural, that you have not built, and fill them with good paying tenants, and also in your own personal homes, beautiful furnishings and arts. Yes, let's go. All right, everybody, have a tremendous night, and we hope to hear from you guys soon. God bless. Bye-bye.